because the damage you did is not gonna weigh against the amount of 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 good you're gonna do in the next part of your life. To
Yeah.
be honest,
I
let's be
give
honest.
I give people benefit
You're
of the
a
doubt.
you're a you're a
I
you
give
always
people
give people
benefit
the
of the
doubt.
doubt, as
Yes,
you
that's
know.
the difference between you and me.
Yeah, I gave Ja Morant benefit of the doubt the first time. I'm not giving it the benefit of the doubt the second time. But I do think that people can change.
Is hip hop lame?
This can't be.
Gonna share the screen. This is Grub's Kitchen. Grub's Kitchen, we have covered him a couple of times already. Great guy, great insights. This is what he had to say. Fair use.
Let me break something down to y'all family about hip-hop culture, because I grew up in this shit. I remember back in the day when we used to say, man, that shit bad. The old folks used to be like, it's bad. We used to be like, no, bad like good. Or it's death, man, it's death. And they be like, death mean good. Dope mean good. Notice how we keep saying shit that's bad mean good. You know what I'm saying? We even made the word bitch and nigga good, right? But people just take the word lame for a second and the word cool for a second. Now let's break something down. Russell Wilson, we all know, is considered a lame, right? Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl winning quarterback that's a millionaire, married to a fine-ass celebrity entertainer with kids all by the same woman. We call that lame. But yet Big Meech is an ex-drug dealer just getting out of prison. And we'll call him cool. We'll call Future cool. You see what I mean about the words and how we do words in hip-hop? Oh boy, we some lost motherfuckers, Jack. I'm too old to think a motherfucker cool that's been on some fuckery.
Is he right?
Yeah, he has a point there. Now, just to bring some context, I don't think people are calling Russell Wilson lame because he has a fine ass wife with kids all from the same woman. I think they're calling him lame because she doesn't have kids only by one man. But that aside, I think that just to be fair, we're talking about a little future, right? But just to be, but I do agree with him. To the extent that hip hop, and it goes back to the point I made earlier, right? I grew up listening to hip hop, only hip hop and rap music. And as you grow, you realize that, hey, you know, when you were younger, you could appreciate the double entendres and the art, and you could put aside the ignorancy. But as you grow and you start building a life, you see more and more that, hey, it's not really, what are we doing here? Especially if you see how people who are doing negative playing, so people are being pushed in the Black community are low frequency people, because you have some very great artists like rappers who are lyrical, because rap is an art. It should be an art, at least, right? It should be an art. It is an art form. It is an art form, and but you see what's being pushed and what's not being pushed. At the end of the day, it's about what sells and what they what they convince you that sells, and they're convincing you that low frequency sells, which is understandable because it's easier to be in a low frequency state. We are by nature in a low frequency state, and you can only get to a higher frequency state by working towards it. For example, when you wake up, you know that maybe you don't want to work out. Your body is saying you're tired, but you know you have to. Only by pushing yourself will you be able to be in condition. Same goes for food, same goes for addictions, and so on and so forth. So they're pushing this to hip hop, and we think I agree with that. I think the nuance isn't. I think Russell Wilson is being called lame for a different reason. He's also being called lame because of the fact that, at least from what was said by former teammates, how he treated the teammates, right? So it's not only because of what he achieved, but it's like the way he goes around talking to people saying, let's ride. But hey,
Yeah, but is that the wrong thing? Because is it
I don't
outside of
think
what people expect as a black person to act tough all the time? He's just a normal kid who.
two things can be right at the same time, right? You can be lame, but still you can be lame in certain aspects, but that doesn't mean that in total.
To certain people.
Everyone has their lame parts. Everyone has their petty parts. Everyone has them. You can agree to, and that's what we forgotten how to do. Where you see it, especially in the U.S., more because of the way the political system is set up, and everything trickles down from that. So it's either this or that. Whereas in other countries, you have like multiple colors, and so you have multiple shades of red, multiple shades of blue. You even have green and all other colors, and so maybe you will choose the party that aligns more to your values, and then in life but you learn to accept from an early stage, from the top down, that there are multiple ways of seeing, looking at a place. But if you're living in a country where it's either red or white, well, in this case blue or red, and then good or bad, then then that person who's not cool is lame by definition. Whereas you can say, he might have certain lame aspects, but he also has certain good aspects.
I always think it's very interesting to see how people react to certain things, right? Because, for example, he took a good example, that Big Meech release. The amount of people who celebrated or congratulated him for his release while he was peddling straight up drugs in the communities. These are the same people, for example. I'm gonna take, it's gonna seem like I have a grudge against him, but LeBron James tweeted, "Welcome home, Big Meech." This is the same guy who tries to fight drugs in the communities. What the heck are you doing?
We don't know whether or not Big Meech changed.
It doesn't matter if he changed, RJ. He was pushing drugs by a ton through communities.
Well,
with all the respect, you might have changed. Good for you, but you shouldn't be even welcomed home, because the damage you did is not gonna weigh against the amount of good you're gonna do in the next part of your life. To be honest,
I give people benefit
you
of the doubt.
You always give people the doubt. Yes,
as you know.
That's the difference between you and me.
Yeah, I gave Ja Morant benefit of the doubt the first time. I'm not giving it the benefit of the doubt the second time. But I do think that people can change. So I don't think that it's fair to hold grudges against someone forever.
It's not a grudge.
But no, I know. So maybe I'm using the word grudge, but okay, let me just say, I don't think it's fair to keep judging someone based on something they did in the past. But that being said, I need to see what you're doing now in order for me to change my opinion. So what I'm saying, I'm reserving my opinion until, and then again, what's my opinion? We talked about King Von at the beginning. Not King. Lil Durk. Lil Durk was giving back to the community. A lot. He was giving back to the community. So if you only know
after
that
he
part
destroyed
of it, if you know only that part of it, you would say, hey,
it's a good guy.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. You have good parts and bad parts. Mobsters, the Italian mob, I mean, they were ruthless, but at the same time, they did a lot of good. They supported a lot of charities. So it's always like, no, come on, man. They supported a lot of charities. And what's being said as well is that, and I do believe it more and more, the older I get, because when you're younger, you're more naive, but you need the illegal economy. So countries need an illegal economy in order to thrive. And the more I see how bad things are being pushed that they know will increase negativity in the community,
Do you really though?
yeah,
I want to push back on that. Maybe another show, because time is running out right now. Let's talk about that in another show, because I don't believe that.
yeah. The only
I don't believe that.
non-illegal country is the Vatican State. Guys, let us know before.
Let's not start talking about that. Hey guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this. Is hip hop lame? Are we lames? Are people lame? Or is this part of the segment lame? Was LeBron bad for welcoming home Big Meech? Should Big Meech be celebrated for what he did? Or should he be looked upon and waited whether we should welcome him home? Anyway, guys, let us know in the comments. RJ.